What's up, Texas Rangers fans? Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure to subscribe right now because I'm your #1 source for all things Texas Rangers related on YouTube. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the one move that the Texas Rangers need to do for their team right now before opening day, and then I think the team will be set. Obviously, we've had a lot of free agent pitcher signings, which are awesome, but I still think there is a need for maybe one bat we all know, but maybe two, and I'm going to break that down right now. It's going to be a 3-team trade with the Texas Rangers, the Minnesota Twins, and the Detroit Tigers. So I have the Texas Rangers receiving Max Kepler from the Twins, Austin Meadows from the Tigers, and Alex Lange from the Tigers. So in exchange, we would be sending Cole Ragans and Davis Wenzel to the Tigers for Austin Meadows, and we get 2 years of team control for Austin Meadows. I'll break down my reasoning for all this. And then going to the Minnesota Twins, we're sending Josh Sborz, because this clears a 40-man roster spot for Max Kepler, and then 2 shortstop prospects, and Maximo Costa, who we signed as an international free agent, I think 3 years ago, so he still has 2 more years of development in the minor leagues before he is exposed to the Rule 5 draft, and Cameron Cawley. And then going from Detroit to Minnesota is Eric Haase, and Minnesota is an interesting team because they had a chance to make the playoffs last year. However, it doesn't really seem they're going to make a deep run. So Eric Haase is a catcher. Yes, they did sign Christian Vasquez. However, it adds depth at the catcher position because Ryan Jeffers didn't play that great, but also he could DH as well as a right-handed power bat. And going to the Tigers is all a bunch of prospects. So obviously you have Ragans and Davis Wenzel. Who knows, maybe Wenzel can figure it out. He still has versatility and a glove, but we drafted him for his bat reasoning. And then going to the Twins, Austin Martin and Aaron Sabato. So I think it's a fair trade on both sides. I think the teams are getting what they want because breaking it down for the Rangers, we get 2 outfielders that are going to help us out this year and a relief pitcher. The Twins are also in a win now mode, so they're getting Sborz and they're getting Eric Haase, and they're also getting some prospects because they could easily not do that well this year, but also if they do, they still have those big league guys. And then for the Tigers, it's all, I think they should just rebuild. Yes, I know it's tough since they had that close 2021 season, but Austin Meadows only has 2 years of team control left. Eric Haase has a decent amount of team control left, but he's 30 years old. So I think you dump those guys, revamp the farm system. But what does this mean for the Texas Rangers? I really think this puts you in a good spot going to opening day because Max Kepler can be your starting left fielder with a platoon of Mark Mathias, because Kepler does a decent job hitting right-handed pitching, but he's a really good glove. So that gives you 3 great defensive outfielders in Max Kepler, Leody Taveras, and Adolis Garcia. But not to mention, I think Max Kepler has a really good plus side to him because I think the shift has really limited his potential as a hitter. So with that gone, I think you could see a massive upside for Max Kepler. And remember, he had a really solid 2019, and he has one of the best baseball savant pages of anybody that's in free agency, but also anybody that could be on the trade market. Not to mention Brian Reynolds, because I don't think that's going to happen. And then Max Kepler, he has 2 years remaining, $8 million this year, so it's a little expensive, but I think it's reasonable. And then a $10 million club option for next year. And the best part is, he could fill in at center field if needed. He could fill in at right field for Adolis if Adolis needed a day off. So I think this is a good deal for the Texas Rangers. And then you could have Mark Mathias platoon over and left. I think you get the both best scenarios out of that. And then going down to Austin Meadows, obviously didn't play a lot this year, but I think that's okay because I think his value will be cheaper. But this guy, all he does is hit versus right-handed pitching, And that's what I think we need to find, is guys that can hit versus right-handed pitching. David Peralta's out there in free agency, but CY has said that he wants to build something that's sustainable. That's why he gave Nathan Eovaldi a 2-year contract. So I don't know. I feel like if the Rangers really want to sign a guy like David Peralta after Michael Conforto signed with the Giants, I feel like they would have already done it. So both Kepler and Austin Meadows give you 2 years. So that gives you options. Maybe that you don't have to rush your prospects as much, or they ball out and maybe Evan Carter or Dustin Harris or somebody is ready. You can flip maybe Max Kepler or Austin Meadows for more capital. Maybe you need a starting pitcher next year. Maybe you need an elite closer. So those could be options down the road. And right now, Max Kepler would fill in at left. And right now, according to Fangraphs, our starting left fielder is Josh Smith. So that'd be a big upgrade. And our starting DH is Brad Miller. I'm really surprised the Rangers have held on to him this long into the offseason. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually made the roster, given his past track record versus right-handed pitching. But if this trade were to happen, I think you would designate Brad Miller for assignment, because Meadows just crushes right-handed pitching. Not the best versus left-handed pitching. I think back in 2019 when he had a breakout year as well, he hit well versus left-handed pitching. But Meadows does offer the upside to crush left-handed pitching. But I think this is a great compliment to Mitch Garver at the DH position, because we have an interesting situation going on with Garver and Heim. Last year you traded for Garver to be the starting catcher. Jonah Heim emerged whenever Garver was injured. So I think you could trade for Meadows in this 3-team deal with the Twins and the Tigers, and you could start Meadows when the right-handed pitchers are playing, and most likely Jonah Heim would be calling the games. And then I feel like the way you'd use Mitch Garver is if there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound, then Garver starts at DH. If Jonah Heim needs a day off at catcher, then Garver would be the catcher. And also, think about this. I think Garver could play a little bit of first base, so if Nate Lowe needs a day off as well, I think he could be the first baseman just in case Nate Lowe needs a day off. However, he hasn't needed a lot of days off in his career, but that's an option as well. And I think that's how you get the playing time with Mitch Garver. And I think that will add up, and I think that will be productive. And obviously, there will be injuries as well. So we'll just see what progresses. And going to Alex Lange, this is a guy that had around a 3.5 ERA last year with the Detroit Tigers. And actually, the Detroit Tigers actually had a really good bullpen last year. Joe Jimenez, Andrew Chafin, Alex Lange, Gregory Soto was good for a bit and he dropped off. And there's some other guys in that bullpen. But this guy gives you, I think, around 5 years of team control. His baseball savant page is off the charts. I feel like he would be more reliable than Josh Sborz, who you'd be giving to the Minnesota Twins in this trade. So I'd be all for this. And like I said, I think all you'd have to do is bring back Matt Moore. And obviously there'd be those minor league free agent signings. But I would be completely happy with the team, barring any injuries. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. In the 3-team deal from the Twins and the Tigers, we'd be getting Max Kepler, Austin Meadows, and Alex Lange. Let me know, do you think we gave up too many prospects? Do you think the teams wouldn't be on board? I think it's a really fair deal for all teams involved. The Twins get the backup catcher / power right-handed bat. The Tigers get a buttload of prospects, and the Rangers get players that can help them win right now. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.